The Matrix might have been one of the greatest soundtracks ever
Get
to
the
hit
fuck
the shelves
out of here.
in Circuit City. What
you
the
mean
fuck
like the
are
score,
you
the,
talking
the
about?
score or the soundtrack?
The soundtrack,
The
bro.
score was cool. The
You
score
guys are
name
tripping.
me one song.
Okay, hang on, Blake. I listened to it last night.
Yeah.
I watched the movie.
The
I just watched
soundtrack
it
to
2
The
weeks
Matrix.
ago.
I watched the movie last night.
Manifesto, Rage Against the Machine. They had Prodigy.
I know, but it was so of the time.
Well, no, it still goes
not,
so hard.
Yes, it does, but it feels like it's in the late 90s.
I can name you several
You guys are crazy.
soundtracks that are so much better.
No, the Matrix soundtrack is still a vibe, dude. You guys are absolutely crazy.
Yeah, the Crow soundtrack.
The Crow's great. Matrix is
it's a vibe.
Dude,
Dazed and Confused.
even
not
the
a vibe
Matrix
that
thing.
you might like.
Yeah, that's the one.
Not for me.
No.
That's the worst
Blake,
song on
is
the
not,
soundtrack, and that song is even sick.
Isn't that the Deftones? Is that the
No,
Deftones?
they have a song on it,
yeah,
though.
they do. But Blake, you're not wrong, man.
It's Chemical Brothers on there,
These
right?
two are wrong. These two are
Chemical
Yeah,
Brothers?
they're
absolutely
tripping.
wrong.
You guys need to
I'm
revisit.
just saying,
But
You're on some Chemical, brother.
I watched it last night, and last night I was going like, oh, I like everything about this movie except for the soundtrack.
Yes, I agree with you. That opening fight
does
scene
that-
with Carrie-Anne
you
Moss
guys are
is
tripping.
off the Richter scale.
I just was like, oh, it's too of this time. They
You
should
guys
have picked
are
more
tripping.
classic songs.
Isn't that fucking cool, though?
Or-
That's cool.
But
What's
Kyle,
wrong with that? That was right
it's
there.
two of this time.
No, you guys are
that time?
tripping. It's
I just like that.
timeless.
Say that.
yeah.
No, it's two of that time.
Two of
yeah,
that
two of
time.
that time.
Like it's
Yeah, it's
stamped
two-
in 99.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
That
Blake
time.
has a special place in his heart because that fucking soundtrack scored all of our
The 90s.
backyard
Backyard
wrestling
wrestling.
matches.
Oh,
So it's
they
like,
were.
Well, and
They
it's
were
because it
entrance
was
songs.
Sorry, it was the end of his favorite decade, 99.
it
I
was
get
big.
it.
We were
No, the
coming
Matrix
into
I mean,
the
soundtrack-
millennium.
it was
Scary
It was
Time.
Prodigy.
Why'd
you
It
finish?
was Rob Zombie.
Can I finish?
It
Dude,
was
yes, the Rob
Rammstein.
Zombie. Yes,
All very
all
good. All
fucking
fantastic.
hammers.
Yeah.
No.
yeah, they are.
Hammers.
Yes, they
It
are.
was Marilyn Manson. It was
Yes.
too much the late 90s.
By the way, this is like what homeboys were like slang fools in Columbine to. They were like, yeah,
Yes.
turn that shit
I'm
up.
sorry. I'm sorry that the music evokes crazy aggressive emotion because it's so well done.
No.
Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that it fuels a fire of
Is that
aggression.
proven? Is this proven, Anders? Because
Not for me, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, those kids, when they became billionaires and then they went to school
Allegedly.
with a sick
here we
sound
go.
system.
Allegedly.
Didn't they hack into like the PA system and play Marilyn Manson while they were walking the
I
halls to
think
shoot people?
so. Dude, I think
Oh
I
yeah,
can
Blake,
recall
and you just
that.
loved it, didn't you? You just loved that.
Allegedly. Hey, okay.
Fucking-
Blake's favorite soundtrack is Columbine.
Come on, dude. That's not fair.
Yeah,
No,
that's just what I heard.
You just lumped
what
it
you
into
said.
something else. And
Yeah, dude.
And Monster
I
Magnet.
I listened to the Matrix soundtrack. I'm a good guy, all right, and I think it still goes hard. And I'm not gonna about to put it on
Dude,
a PA system.
it
and
goes
hurt people.
hard for 1999.
dude. It's still fire.
Put
It's
it on a
still
PA
fire.
Marilyn
system
Manson. It's Prodigy. It's Rob Zombie.
Yes.
It's
Meat
Monster
Beat-
Magnet.
I'm telling you,
it's
Meat Beat
Rammstein.
Manifesto. It's Rage Against the Machine.
Dude,
It's all sick. Dude,
Judgment-
Hive
Judgment
ultrasonic
Night
sound.
soundtrack better.
Ultrasonic sound.
Yeah,
Coming out.
you know what? I'll say this.
Coming
I
out
bet
your
you the movie
speakers.
Hackers has a better soundtrack.
Ooh. Okay,
Well,
wait. let's check it.
similar worlds.
I know.
I didn't
and,
own
and
that.
I already know it's going to be better.
I didn't
because
own that soundtrack.
whatever they were rollerblading to,
Here's what
I'm
I
in.
want to know.
I think Sneaker Pimps were on there.
I like
Ooh.
Sneaker
Six
Pimps.
Wait.
Underground.
I love that
Orbital.
song.
I think,
Orbital.
I think that's
movies of
Romeo
this
and
time
Juliet.
Oh, don't. That's a
leans
soundtrack
too
right
hard
there.
into the music of the time, and then that music didn't transcend.
I'm sorry that these movies were coming out during the best music era. It's not their fault they're using
No.
music
No.
of the time.
But dude,
This isn't
Yeah,
the
it's
best
hard to
music
stamp.
era. The best music era is Puddle of Mud and Fuel. A few
era
years
is that?
later.
No, stop.
that's not.
So your favorite,
Should I think?
So your favorite soundtrack is like Orange County movie. What's your favorite movie soundtrack?
It's the Scorpion,
probably
right?
Days-
It's the
Scorpion
probably
King?
Blow.
It's the Scorpion King.
With Godsmack.
Dude,
with
obviously Blow is my favorite soundtrack.
Yeah, but Blow is using like music from the 70s.
Yeah, that's old ass.
That's
music,
of
bro.
that time.
Yeah, and what they do when they do classic
Two
movies like
of the
that,
time.
it's
Two of
they
that time.
they pick hits. Now it's the fucking Monster Magnet. No one's listening to Monster Magnet
You
anymore.
guys are
But
going
that's it. But this brings
you
up a
guys
good
are
point
out of your
because
mind.
what you're able to do with a period piece is use hindsight, right? Like,
Yes. Sure.
I love the Stand By Me soundtrack. They had the hindsight to go, these are the real fucking
Matrix.
hits.
Sure.
Matrix, it was of that time.
Sure.
So
Absolutely.
what they
it
did,
was.
they didn't have the wherewithal to go, this is going to be good later. But guess what did? The Crow soundtrack is so much better. Fuck off.
The
I
Crow
don't
soundtrack is
understand.
a top 10 soundtrack for sure.
Soundtrack.
All time. And by the way, what's nobody touched
Soundtrack.
what's the fucking Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker movies? Those
Rush
soundtracks
Hour.
Rush
were
Hour.
bangers.
Yes. Another.
Yeah,
you know
but
what
are
else
you guys
had a
talking,
great
You're talking
soundtrack?
computer movies, right? You
Yeah,
guys are
we're-
talking
I know. I just said
specific
Hackers.
computer
Hackers
movies?
has a great
Yeah.
war games. I don't know about the soundtrack. I guarantee you it's good.
Right.
Dude.
Or the Net. What about the Net? What was-
Net, probably a great soundtrack.
The Net
What's
hits.
the soundtrack to the Net? Wow. What's the song from the Net? What was like?
What is the main song from
like
the
what
Net?
took us into credits, bro?
Hang on. Forrest Gump soundtrack. Red disc or blue disc?
See, that's also not fair. That's hindsight.
What the fuck does
I
that
agree.
mean?
I'm just
What's
saying,
red disc or blue disc? Is that how they split it up?
There was a red disc and a blue disc, and it was
I
like
kinda remember
I
this.
believe it was chronological, where the red disc was earlier songs and the blue discs.
I
blue
feel
disc
like,
was later.
but I feel like that the first disc was so hot that they dropped a second disc on people
no, it
because
was
the
a
record
it was
sales.
a double doggy.
That's an expensive
That's
ass
my bad.
movie, man.
That's my bad.
Expensive.
He had
That's
those
an expensive
bad.
ass movie,
money.
bro.
I'm not a smart man.
Oh, nice.
Hey, cool, dude.
got one. We
Cool.
got one.
Did you
I
know
love
that
that
movie?
movie.
I tried to look up on iTunes a song from the Net, and it is just not good. It's
Wow,
not
what do you
coming
mean?
up.
What do you
It's
mean?
not coming
The Net
up. It's
theme?
like it doesn't exist.
Greatest soundtrack of all time.
theme song.
Like
What
this
do
is
you mean?
Dazed and
official.
Confused.
No. Greatest soundtrack
Yeah,
of all
Dazed and
time.
Confused probably, right?
No, Harder They Fall. 100%.
What the fuck is that?
Fuck is harder they fall.
Huh?
Just it's Google it. It's the best. It's,
Wait,
like
what movie? What
Toots
movie
and the
you talking about?
Maytals. The Harder They
No,
Fall.
dude.
Now, did Joe
Wedding
Francis
Singer.
produce this, or because
Austin
That's
Powers
the only films I'm into.
had a great soundtrack.
Yes, it did.
BBC One.
Wait, harder they fall. The movie about like the
what?
sad
BBC
cowboys
One.
that just came out.
No, no, no,
BBC
no.
Two. BBC Three. Dude.
Not the
The harder
not
they
the-
fall.
No,
it
not
just
the,
came out with Idris Elba. He's like a sad
Not
cowboy.
not that movie. Wait, what the? It's like a
this
Jamaican.
is Jimmy. Yeah, this is Jimmy Cliff.
Jimmy Cliff. Yeah,
No,
isn't it-
or
Oh, I know this track.
Isn't it
This
called The Harder
It's
They
a
Fall?
track, not a movie.
The Harder
It's a-
They
it's
Fall
a
No, there's a
just
whole
came out.
soundtrack.
It's on
No.
Netflix.
I know. I watched the first 30 minutes.
I think you're talking about shit. What's it called? Not like Renegades or whatever.
The
but you're
Harder
talking
They
about-
Come. Maybe is what the movie's called.
Oh,
And
wait
Joe
a
Francis
minute.
did produce that.
He did.
Yeah.
This is what put him over the edge of the beam.
Wait
Yeah.
a minute.
That was
The
West
Harder They
Hollywood.
Come.
That
Wait,
was West
that was
Hollywood.
his follow-up.
Yeah.
My mom has that as her ringtone now.
It's disgusting.
Holy moly.
She segued right into the
Harder
Pornhub
They
theme
Come.
song.
Okay, so this is like a reggae movie with Jimmy Cliff and stuff.
Yes, but you put on the soundtrack and you're like, well, that's a good song. Oh, that's a great song. Oh, this song's off the chain. The Harder They Come.
What's that? Man, Atiba would kill me. There's this reggae movie where it's like all like the greatest. It's like the most legendary reggae movie ever.
This is it. I think this is it.
No, it's called like Rippers or something.
Is it the Snoop Lion?
you
It's
know
the
what has a
Snoop
pretty
Lion
good
documentary,
soundtrack?
right? It's a Snoop Lion one.
It's Snoop Lion.
Isn't it Snoop Lion?
Yeah.
when he when he
The
swore off
Beatles
of rapping?
documentary that just came
That
out
was
had
so
a pretty
crazy
good
cool.
soundtrack.
You
Oh,
like
yeah.
that? Oh, it's called Rockers. Rockers.
Pretty
It's
good.
like one of the most legendary like Jamaican like reggae movies ever.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't seen Rockers, it's like one of the coolest background movies just because everybody's dressed
have you
insane.
seen it?
Yeah. Rockers rocks.
I like how you're like, I don't know what it is. If you haven't seen it,
No, I forgot the title. I thought it was Rippers. It's Rockers.
yeah, fair enough.
But it's like super legendary.
Ripping and the
Very
rocking. Ripping and the
It's
rocking.
very cool.
Super legendary.
Streaming live.
Drop it.